I am an actor and a writer, and I must admit that body awareness is one of the biggest elements of deepening my self-awareness. Such an important element that I am on the journey to become a Feldenkrais practitioner. Feldenkrais is a method for deepening your kinesthetic awareness, or your awareness of your body in space. And maybe in a future TAP talk, I'd love to share more on Feldenkrais. If you're like me, you may have struggled with body image issues at some point in your life. And this poem is written about those experiences. It's called The Way We Are Wound. Can you hear me okay? A sound takes me back to a memory, a wind up, and then a melody. As I watch a mechanical ballerina spin, silver box top reflecting jewels and trinkets within. And this is where the tragedy of comparison begins. Tall and slender, perched on a pedestal, sad but proud. As a young girl, I mirrored her as she spun around, perfect, surrounded by ornaments of beauty, valued for their scarcity. See, those stones are treasured because they're rare and unique. But in the features of a woman, are those the same qualities we seek? Or in the pursuit of self-materialization, do we sell our souls for empty idolizations? On billboards, the gold standard is swapped for the golden ratio. Fit the mold and appreciation will follow. And this is the way we are wound. Beauty is not found, it is manufactured. Ah, sweet femininity. Ah, days of simplicity, basking in the warm sun, soaking up the adoration of my mom. What will I become? Anything's possible when you're young. Imagining different roles as we'd play dress up, I'd often slip into a certain pair of my mother's shoes, ones with bright sequins in the shape of exotic fruits, waiting for the day that I would measure up, always in such a hurry to grow up. Innocence fading, finger painting quickly replaced by makeup, shading my features slowly, jaded as time passed. I watched my shadow cast beneath me, angry at the sun now for being so unflattering. I wanted long nails and a bust. A small waist was a must because the standard of beauty was predetermined in my 17 magazine, automated by the machine, carbon copy, beauty queen, mannequins pumped out on industrial work lines. Silicone fillers and Botox pumped in to plump up laugh lines. And every goddess started to look the same, furthering the notion that we must tame our individual identities and conform to someone else's idea of normal. Barbie, plastic, nameless, static, confused and uncomfortable in my own skin. All I wanted was to spin ballerina thin to fit in. Age with dignity and grace, not replace the parts of me that reveal my age. So instead, I learned to embrace them. And the tragedy of comparison ended there. As a young woman, I grew to love my body for its wabi-sabi, as the Japanese call it, perfect imperfections. And I see myself spinning. For a little girl who won't ever receive a jewelry box from me, I will be the only jewel she sees because I want her to be free to create her own identity, and reflecting that beauty starts with me. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have one more poem for you. It's called Beats Like Bones on a Drum, and I think it's very apt for our inaugural TAP Talks. Like this. They say you're not ready to listen until you're willing to lose it all. But when music hits you, you feel no shame and let go of blame. Because we listen to be moved, to be made to feel an emotion captured and spun, and then come undone. Listen, and you will access higher realms of self, because our natural instinct is to relate, to understand, nod our heads and clap our hands when one articulates a stance on reality with panache, yet casually with a splash of novelty as words clash musically. This is the art of an MC who will lead you to higher vibes, a hostess with a mostess, a man with a plan. Damn, I wish I rocked it like she can. The words tumble out, no fumble foul, unencumbered now, we paint by letter. Better than anything they could have taught, not sold or bought, but shared for free for you from the half man, half machine mic MC singularity with a hip hop heartbeat, repping the rhythm of the street, drummed up, music scats out in the urban jungle. Stomping ground of white cats and black dogs, tribes confused by the head lies of news and schools which bleach history and preach victory. But we are no one's fools. Listen, because hip-hop is a tool, and the music is calling. Drums pound out a warning. They're telling us something. Listen, in the beginning there was a word, and the word was iqra, was om, was fertile, was soul, feminine sound, which mothered the universe. There's something undeniable about passion on fire, a person animated by their words, the MC personality. It takes confidence in your capabilities and content to hold an audience for a moment in time and deliver them to the divine like modern shamans of the civilized Samsara. The heart is a solid organ which beats like bones on a drum and breaks like rocks crushed, because even mountains crumble. And lush green is consumed by flames which fume from rage, and sooner or later the sinkholes in our souls force us all to surrender to the void. Listen, let me take you on a trip, down the winding roads of everywhere and into the inner, infinite expanses. We are all eternal wanderers questing for home. We are here, and if we are limited to share what we can feel by what we can describe in language, then let our words be specific yet languid. Let them do their duty and do it rightly. Noble words which carry meaning, cross seas and borders and into the hearts of men. The MC speaks, commanding and lyrical, her commentary satirical, sharp and on point, emotionalizing verse through her gesture and voice, the mic a weapon, intellect ammunition, fighting ignorance in rhythm, leading the masses through a different sermon, street ritual, subliminal. And we access higher realms of self, because our natural instinct is to create, to understand, nod our heads and clap our hands when one articulates a stance on reality with panache, yet casually, with a splash of novelty as words clash musically. And when the music hits you, you feel no shame. You don't feel the same. Because we listen to be moved, to be made, to feel an emotion captured and spun, and then come undone. Listen. The heart is a solid organ which beats like bones on a drum and breaks like rocks crushed, because even mountains crumble. Listen, listen. Thank you.